you're welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. This is me, your Guessing Concept, as you already know. And if you're new here, you're highly welcome. And to my returning subscribers, you're most welcome. And if you're here to join this beautiful family, kindly press the red subscribe button down below to join right away. More so, don't forget to turn on your notification bell for new updates, okay? So today, without further ado, we shall be making this beautiful dress on the screen. It is called a tie cuff hairline ruffle hem maxi dress. Okay, I know you're gonna like it because we're in the era of slay in comfort. Okay, and if you are the type that doesn't like choking dress or revealing dress, I bet you this tutorial is for you. Okay, because I'll be showing you how to measure it, how to cut it, and how to stitch it. Isn't that amazing? So kindly sit back as we move on to the working table. For this tutorial, I'll be working with this beautiful printed material. Okay, I think this is a leopard pattern, as you can see. So altogether here I have 2 yards and 24 inches. A yard is 36, right? This is the savage edge. So I folded it into 2 equal parts, as you can see. So I fold it again into 2 equal parts. Place it on my table now. After placing it, I will have both the front and the back because I'll be cutting both together at once. As you can see now, I've placed both the front piece of this dress and the back piece together. This is it. Okay, so I also went ahead and placed the vertical measurements. The basic measurement needed for this tutorial are the shoulder line, which is the starting part here, the armhole depth, that is from the shoulder line to this line where the armhole depth stops, and from the shoulder line to this part is the waist line, and this is the hip line. The hip line is just for a guide to guide us, okay? And the total length of this dress for this tutorial is 57 inches. Hem of the dress is going to have a ruffle. So the height of my ruffle for this dress is 10 inches. 10 minus 57, now left with 47 inches, okay? So 47 inches plus 1 inch for allowance to hem it on the down part, that makes it 48 inches. Okay, so all together here on my table, from the shoulder line here to the hem of the dress, I have a 48 inches. Is it 48? So let's go ahead now and place our circumference. Okay, I won't be adding the zipper to it. Okay, it depends on your preference. If you want to add zipper to it, that means you are going to have a zipper allowance on the back piece. Okay, from this starting point, which is the folded edge, as you can see here, I'll place my shoulder measurements. You can only divide your shoulder by 2, and my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2. That makes it 8 inches plus half an inch to join it to the sleeve, making 8.5. So from this folded edge, I will go in by 8.5. And whatever I have on this shoulder line, I will measure it. From this folded edge, I will measure it in as well, so that I will have an accurate shoulder line. Then from this shoulder line, I will go down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. As you know, our shoulder is not straight. Right. So for the neck width, my neck width for this tutorial will be 3.5 inches. And the neck depth, 3.5 inches also. For the back neck depth, I will place 1 inch, which is standard for everyone. So I'll go ahead and give it a shape I want. Right. So the next thing now is I'll connect the shoulder slope to the part where the neck width stops. So from where the shoulder slope stops, I will measure out what I have here. Altogether here I have 8.5. Armhole depth is 9 inches, but because 1 inch and I'm left with 8.5. Remember, I added half an inch for joining the shoulder at the upper parts. Okay, so I have 8.5 inches here. Then I will look for the midpoint of this armhole depth. That will be 4.25, which is 4.25. Okay, and always have it at the back of your mind, especially if you're a newbie, that wherever your armhole depth stops, that forms your chest line. Okay, take note of that. So from this midpoint, I will come in by ½ inch for the front armhole. Then I will connect it to the shoulder. This chest line now, I will place the 1/4 of my bust circumference. The 1/4 of my bust circumference is 12 inches plus ½ an inch for his, making it 12.5. Then I'll connect this 12.5 to this ½ an inch. And I'll go ahead and mark out the back armhole too. So that is the front and the back armhole. From the shoulder line to this line is 17 inches plus ½ an inch, making 17.5. So this is my waistline now. From this waistline, I'll go ahead and place the 1/4 of my waistline, which is 11 inches. But because this is Maxi dress, adding 1 inch for his, making it 12 inches. I'll place it. Connect the chest line and the waistline together. The hip line from the shoulder line on the upper part, making 26.5. Okay, so the distance between my waistline and the hip line now is 9 inches. So from this part, which is the hip line, I will place the 1/4 of my hip circumference. Like I said, the hip line just for a guide. Okay, so the 1/4 of my hip here is 13 inches plus 1 inch for his, making 14 inches. That's it. Then I'll connect it together. On the hemline, remember I said this is going to be hairline dress, so we can't leave it the way it is now because we want to have that shape we want. Remember on the hip line, because I said the hip will guide us, I have a 14 inches here. Okay, 14 inches. Then I'll be adding more inches to it to give me that shape I want for the hairline. Okay, originally the interval is between 4 and 7 inches. Okay, but for kids you can add 2 inches, 3 inches. This tutorial I will add 5 inches to this 14 inches I had on the hip line. Okay, that makes it 19 inches. I will place it on the hem of the dress. From this folded edge, I will go in by 19 inches. Connect it from this hip line, connect it down to the hem line. So this is our hairline dress now. That's it. So I'll be cutting out the back piece first, the back armhole first. Then I will take it out and cut out the front.
Undetermined. I just wanna be certain. I don't wanna waste all our time wondering if we're right.
I'll be adding pocket to this dress, and to measure it, I will take my measurements from the shoulder line here. I will measure out 18 inches. So this is where 18 inches stop, just immediately after the waistline. Here. Then the opening, that is the distance where I'll be placing my hand through the pocket, I will give it 7 inches. That is, from this 18 inches, I'll go down by 7 inches here. Then I'll give it a notch. Make sure the notch reflects on the other side of the fabric. Okay, for the pockets, I'll be using this piece of fabric to cut it out. And how do you place your hand? You place it like this. You tilt your elbow back like this, not like this. Okay, like this. Okay, then I'll give it shape, like oval shape. I'll give it round. Let's see. Make sure this part goes up than this part. Okay, then from this part I will measure out 7 inches. Remember, we left 7 inches on the dress. Then we slant it like this. Then cut it inside. It's going to be now. So I'll set it aside now. And for the pocket, this is how we're gonna join it. Side of the fabric facing the right side of the pocket. Okay, so this is it, our 7 inches. Make sure the place that has the highest edge faces up. Okay, like this. This is the place that has the highest edge. Right side facing each other, right side of the pocket facing the right side of the fabric. Happening now, you open it, then you place the right side of the dress, right side facing each other, 1 inch. Take it. So when you get to this part, you stitch it very well. Then you go half an inch for the pockets, half an inch. When you get to the side seam again, you come in by 1 inch, you stitch it, you back stitch, then you go down until you get to the hemline of the dress, 1 inch. Okay, same thing on the other side. Then for the shoulder, half an inch on the shoulder line, half an inch on both sides. Okay, so after joining the shoulder to shoulder together, I will overlock the shoulder, tighten it up. Then I will use my bias binding to tighten up the neckline. Then after joining it shoulder to shoulder and to the side seam to side seam, I will now go ahead and cut out the sleeve. Because that is my method, I always make sure my bodice is ready to be attached to the sleeve. So I'll go and do that right away. So guys, after attaching the pockets and stitching the side seam and the shoulder line, this is how it's going to look. This is it, and this is the down part. After joining both the front piece and the back piece of the dress together, I will proceed now and take the circumference of the down part of the dress. Okay, so to do that now, in order not to be going round and round, I'll place both together like this equally. Then I'll place my measuring tape. So here with me I have a 38. So 38 for the front and 38 for the back. So 38 plus 38, that will be 76. That 76, I'll go ahead and then multiply it by 2 inches. So 76 times 2, that will be 152 inches. Okay, all together here, because I have 2 pieces here, I'll be joining both together. Let's see what we have here. So all together here, I have a 82, and this is 80. So both will be 162 now. Okay, so I still have excess. I think we just join it together and use everything. The width to be, that is the height, I want it to be 10 inches. Then I added 1 inch to it, okay, half an inch to join it to the dress, and then I will hem it. I will hem the down part in with half an inch, okay, so I'll be left with 10 inches. So that is all about the ruffle. So for the armhole now, I'll go ahead and measure it out. Remember, we left 1 inch inside, so I'll measure it. 11.5 plus 1 inch for the seam, for the side seam, making 12.5. So 12.5 times 2, that will be 25. Yeah, 25 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place my fabric on fold. So altogether here I have 25 inches, but for the bicep I will divide it by 2. I'll be cutting out 12.5. okay, so I've placed both sides of the sleeve together, the right side and the left side. I've placed it on fold. The length of my sleeve is 22 inches, okay, plus half an inch to join to make it 22.5. The sleeve is going to have a cuff, so the height of my cuff here on fold is a 2.5, half an inch to join it to the main fabric, okay. So spread out is 5 inches now. So what I will do here, I will not place the whole length of the sleeve. I will reduce it by 2 inches, okay. 2 minus 22, that will be 20 inches. So I will add half an inch for joining, making 20.5. So this band here will replace the 2 inches I removed from this sleeve, okay. So for the width now, my round sleeve is 9 inches. My round sleeve is 9 inches. Then I multiply it by 3, that will be 27 inches. So this, the length of this band is going to be 27 inches. I added 1 inch to it, make it 28, okay. So after joining it, I will have a 27 inches. To cut out the sleeve, I made a video on how to cut a basic sleeve. If you don't know it, kindly watch it so that you get how to cut it, because I will not be explaining everything on this video, okay. On the down part here, what I did was, because the wrist is going to have a band, my wrist is a 9 inches, okay. So on fold now will be 4.5, okay. So I multiply 4.5 by 2, making 9 inches. Then I added 1 inch for allowance, making a 10 inches, okay. So by the time I gather it, I will arrive at my normal sleeve, okay. So that's what I did here. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Like I said, if you don't know how to cut a basic sleeve, kindly go and watch my video on how to cut it. You will get it, okay. More so on the upper part here, I added 2 inches because I'll be having some puff here, okay, on the upper parts. So this is our sleeve now. I think the whole thing is ready now. Get your sleeve done. All you have to do is join your sleeve to the bodice, okay, which I've done here, and then you stitch it up with the side seam allowance. When you get to this part, you stop 4.5 inches away to the band. Exactly what I did here, as you can see, okay. I stop 4.5 inches away to this band, okay. Then I went ahead and folded the edge in with 1/4, okay, 1/4 in first and 1/4 in again. Same thing I did here as well, as you can see. Then when you are done, you take the sleeve, okay, you hold it equally and then notch the center, okay. Then you set it aside. Go ahead and take your band. Okay, this is my band. I added lightweight interface on it. It's optional. Okay, then I stitch up the edge with half an inch. Then I stop half an inch away to the edge, as you can see here. Okay, I stop half an inch to this opening part. Same thing on the other side. Then when you are done, you turn it inside again and make sure you poke out the edges very well. After turning the right side out, then you go ahead and fold it up again to get the midpoint of your band. Then when you are done folding it up, you notch it. Okay, this will serve as the center. Then when you are done, you open it up like this. The side facing towards you like this, that is the side you will attach your sleeve to. Okay, so you take your sleeve, wrong side of the sleeve facing the right side of the band towards you. Okay, as you can see here, I'll place my sleeve wrong side facing the right side of the band towards me. Then you pin it. You hold it down with your pin. After pinning it down, I'll go ahead and place half of my round sleeve. My round sleeve is 9 inches divided by 2, that is 4.5. So from this center part of the band, I will move out by 4.5. Okay, 4.5 for the half of my round sleeve. Okay, on this side. So I will repeat same on the other side. Half of my round sleeve, 4.5. Right, so at this point, if you are using the longest stitch of your machine to run your gathers, fine. And when you are done, you place it, make sure it covers the mark you did. Okay, between this center to this edge, make sure it covers it. And if you are using your hand, you place your gathers, you place it until you cover the half of the sleeve on this side. So you repeat same on the other side. Okay, and when you are done, you fold half an inch, you run your stitch on it, you hold it down with your stitch half inch. So when you are done, you fold the half inch in like this. You fold it in, including the gathers you have done. Then you now take the other side of the band, you close it up. Make sure the center of the band matches each other. Okay, so you cover it up, and when you are done covering it up, you run your stitch on it close to the edge. Okay, close to the edge, because with this method you'll be able to control the stitch. But assuming you place the sleeve right side of the sleeve facing the right side of the band, you won't be able to control the stitch. But with this, you'll be able to control the stitch. So you stitch close to the edge of the band. Okay. So I'll go ahead and attach everything, join everything together. So one more thing for the neckline, because the neckline, the width of my neckline was tiny. So what I will do for the neckline, on the back I will slit it a bit. I'll come down by 4 inches. Then I will slit it open. So I will tighten it up. Then I'll add button to this part. So I'm going to do everything. I'll come back and show you the finished look. Hand look of our dress, looking beautiful. That's the upper parts, and that's the down parts, the sleeve, the pockets, pockets. Thank you for watching to the end, and I hope this video has been helpful. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so by pressing the red subscribe button below, and don't forget to press that icon that has thumb up. Okay, I know you can do better. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.